And we're back with the WTIM morning show here on your information station. It's brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first in the landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and joining us in this segment, I've got Dixie Vincent and Shamron Cratcham, committee members with the Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic. To the both of you, good morning. How are we today?
Good morning.
Well, I'm glad to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, and I'm glad to have you guys here today because this is just right around the corner, this Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic, the 138th annual. And Dixie, I would be remiss, I almost think, if I didn't ask you a little bit about some history and background behind the event. You've been with us for so long. What can you tell us in terms of just some background on the Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic?
Well, the Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic started in what was a pasture east of Mount Auburn. It was close to the railroad, and they would bring in people from Decatur and from all points east, and they would attend the Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic because back then a few of them had a jalopy. Most of them came in horses and buggies, and it has evolved. And then it moved to Mount Auburn when the train station became more, they used it more, so they moved it to Mount Auburn up on top of the hill. And Mount Auburn used to be up on top of the hill. The stores used to be up on top of the hill. And then we had a fire, and several of the stores up around the park burned, and the businesses moved down the hill. So, but the picnic has been on top of the hill since I was a very little girl, and that's been a long time ago. My dad used to take us up, and back then we had bigger rides, the big merry-go-round and the big Ferris wheel, and we would go up, and then about 8 o'clock, my dad would take my brother and I home, and we had to take a nap. And then he would take us back after 10, and we could watch them tear down. That was a treat. So
you have seen it through so many years, and through a completely different lens than probably
getting to see friends that I haven't seen for a long time. But the community involvement gets me excited. We have community involvement now that we didn't used to have. So many people are willing to help, and they help with all of the events, a variety of events. And then the people that come back, for example, on Saturday just for the pork chops, but they're going to be there every year. So that's exciting.
That is exciting. And I will say, Dixie, you don't hear that all the time, that folks are still getting behind their events in their small local communities, whatever the case might be. To hear that volunteers are really more taken care of is a fantastic thing to hear. And I appreciate some of that history and background shared from you here today. Shamron, I also hear that you've been promoted. You've gotten a little boost here lately. I'd love to hear about your roles within the Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic. We'll start with you, but how long have you been doing it, and what is your role?
I've been on the committee for about 1 year, and then I was elected last year to president. So this is my first Mount Auburn Picnic, being in charge of it. We have a very small committee, but like Dixie said, the volunteers are amazing. So even though we only have 5 of us that go to the meetings and plan, we depend on everyone in our little town to help us out, and they've all been wonderful. So I'm looking forward to many years of being the president, but yeah, I'm super excited for this.
Well, that is very cool. First year as president, but I'm sure many years in the past of kind of
volunteering. Absolutely.
So
yes.
We know what's going on still.
Yes.
And Dixie, for you, what is your role within the Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic?
Well, my office on the committee is treasurer. So I also have a co-treasurer, Melissa Businger, and this is her first year as co-treasurer. And together we are responsible for reporting to the committee all of the receipts, all of the expenses, the bank statements, making sure that they reconcile and that they know how we get every penny that is given to us and how every penny is spent. So it isn't secretive at all. And if anybody ever has any questions, they're, they should be comfortable with contacting either of us. So our theme this year is American Pride in 25. And we're hoping that people will take pride in Mount Auburn and what we do as well.
Well, it sounds like it. And 138 years of anything is a long time. And so now with the 138th annual Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic, let's jump into that theme of American Pride in 25. Let's start starting as of tomorrow. What can you tell me about that Thursday of events?
Well, we'll have a ham and bean supper, which there again, our village has wonderfully volunteered to make cornbread for all of us. So I don't know how many volunteers we have, but numerous people have offered to make cornbread to go along with our ham and bean supper.
That's free.
That is free.
A donation. We just have a donation can out, and that's free.
Right. And then we've added a pie eating contest. So super excited about the kids being able to do that. It is also free, so anybody who wants to participate can. We'll have the opening ceremonies where the mayor will speak and we'll kind of go over everything that's going to happen for the evening. We have a pageant, the Little Miss and Mister, a preteen, and a teen pageant. And as of right now, let me see here. We have 4 Teen Miss applicants, 2 Junior Miss applicants, 1 Little Mister, and 5 Little Miss. So there's quite a few kids who are going to be participating. To be in the pageant, you have to live in the old school district, or your grandparents have to live in Mount Auburn. So those are the only 2 requirements to be in the pageant. And then I'll let Dixie. Oh, one other thing I'd like to add about the pageant. We have added the People's Choice this year. So for 1 vote, you just need to bring 1 can of food, a canned good, and that will be donated to our local pantry. So hopefully we get a lot of votes and we can have a People's Choice. And they'll also get a sash and a crown, just like the winners of the pageant. And then it'll benefit our food pantry. So
very nice. And I know, Dixie, you like to be heavily involved with the pageant. So this year, as we get into the pageant again, what's that kind of, why? Why do you like to be involved?
Well, Ann Holliday is actually the pageant coordinator, but I have for several years, but I don't think I will be doing it this year, but I have interviewed the little kids, and I love little kids. I teach children's church, and most of the little kids know me as Miss Dixie, so they're pretty free to talk to me, and it's neat to talk to all the little kids. I love that part. I'm not sure I'm doing that this year, but I have to check with her for sure. Well, but anyway, it will be fun. It will be fun to hear what they have to say.
I hope you get another chance to be involved. And Ann Holliday, we've had her on before in different instances and different ways, but man, it sounds like Ann is all over the place on top of things as well. Mentioned here following the pageant was the little tractor pedal pull, 7:30 to 9:30, and then the beer tent. That Brady Joe Patton, is that some local music coming in?
It is, yes. He is from Mount Auburn, and he sings mostly country music. It's acoustic, but he's an amazing performer, and he is one of our younger generations of Mount Auburn. So we're looking forward to his performance. Yeah,
very cool. And then at 8 p.m., rounding that day out, raffle drawing for $25. I would assume that being the ticket price to get into said raffle drawing. And we'll just find out how much that pot is by the end of it. So that's a look at Thursday, August 21st. Is there anything else that we missed when it comes to Thursday that we'd like to make sure we highlight?
I just want to mention that if there are any little kids that want to be in that little tractor pull, Larry Allison furnishes a tractor and a sled, and they get $5 each, even if they just go 2 inches.
just for participating.
Just for being a part of it.
Yes.
Being a part of it.
That is very cool. Thank you for adding that little piece. That's a look at Thursday, August 21st. So tomorrow at the 138th Annual Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic, getting its start as of tomorrow at 5 p.m. when the beer tent opens. Ham and bean supper to go along with that, and a pie eating contest, new and for free. I mean, come on, I'll scarf down as much pie as I can get. So that is a look at Thursday. When we come back, we'll talk Friday and Saturday for the Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic. We're joined by Dixie Vincent and Shamron Cratchum, committee members with the Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic, here on WTIM, your information station.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor, slightly higher with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat. September corn up 1 3/4, 381 1/4. December corn up 1 3/4, 405. March corn 422 1/4, up 1 3/4. September beans up 3 1/2, 1016 1/2. November beans up 4, 1037 3/4. January beans 1057 1/4, up 4. September wheat up 8 3/4, 507 1/4. December wheat up 9, 530 1/4. September bean meal 291 even, up 360. September bean oil 51.29, down 39 cents. Livestock trade August feeders 353.67, up 312. August live cattle up $1.42, 237.75. October lean hogs down to $1.15, $89 even. Energy market September crude oil 63.10, up 75 cents. This is the RFD.
This is Casey Evans with People's Bank and Trust, where customers have one consumer banker who knows them and provides the right financial services to achieve their financial goals. Your consumer banker is your single source for life's financial needs, from checking to consumer loans, from retirement accounts to mortgage loans, and everything in between. Call me at 888-PBT-1954. Bank with People's Bank and Trust, so you can spend your time living your life, not explaining it. At People's Bank and Trust, we put people first. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
WTIM, your ag information station, is your voice of the Farm Progress Show in Decatur. Our over 9 hours of live coverage includes Farm Progress Show Media Day, August 20th from 12:20 to 1 p.m. Then our coverage continues Friday, August 22nd from 12:20 to 1 p.m. Monday, August 25th, the day before the show, from 12:20 to 1 p.m. And on show days, Tuesday, August 26th through Thursday, August 28th, from 6:40 to 6:55 a.m., 8:40 till 10 a.m., and 12:20 to 1 p.m. Plus, Ag Networks We Carry will broadcast live from the show from 6 till 6:30 a.m., 10 to 11 a.m., and 1 till 4 p.m., August 26th and 27th, and until 1 p.m., August 28th, and 3-minute reports per day, August 25th through the 29th, all streamed live at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Find out our latest introductions in ag equipment and technology at WTIM's live coverage, sponsored by Sukup Manufacturing, Beck's Hybrids, and your local Beck's dealer, Central Commodity FS, J&J Fencing in Greenville, People's Bank and Trust, the Illinois Soybean Association, and CNB Bank and Trust.
Brenda Elder here, the Executive Director of the Shelby County Economic Development Corporation. From growing your business to attracting new investment, we're here to help. Find out more by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
If you're tired of worrying about home maintenance and stairs at Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth, you don't have to. Enjoy independent living duplexes that are half the cost of traditional independent living options. Find out more by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and our morning show brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. Joining me in studio here today, I've got Dixie Vincent and Shamron Cratchum, committee members with the Mount Auburn Farmers Picnic. We talked about Thursday. Now we want to get into Friday. What can you tell us about Friday and that schedule of events?
The ice cream social opens at 5 o'clock, and so does our beer tent. The firemen are going to have a walleye fish fry. It's delicious. Everybody can come and get you some fish. It's wonderful. From 5 to 8, the 40 mile per hour club is going to be there for a car show. I think from what it looks like, the weather's going to be beautiful, so I think we're going to have a really good turnout. The carnival will be there on Friday and Saturday, and the rides start at 6 o'clock. You can get your wristband. Today's the last day to get your wristband for $35, but it's only Saturday. So it's Saturday's wristband for $35. And then for Friday, we have tickets for $1 or 22 tickets for $20. And then you can get a wristband for Friday night for $25. Our stage show in the beer tent is the Easy Pickins. They said that they play, let me look here, a good old country music. So I think everybody can enjoy that. We're also going to have a raffle drawing. We hope to see everybody. Dixie, do you have anything to add for Friday?
Well, the ice cream social is for the Mount Auburn 5 Loaves and 2 Fish food pantry. The proceeds will go to the food pantry. And our food pantry is open every Tuesday evening from 6 to 7:30, and it's just west of the Christian church, right across the street from the park. But that's where the proceeds from the ice cream social go.
Thank you for throwing that in there. And to know that there is a food pantry in Mount Auburn, I did not. And so to hear that there's going to be some additional support for it is fantastic. I want to make sure we have plenty of time to talk Saturday, because Saturday starts just a little earlier. What about Saturday, and what's that look like?
Saturday, we'll start the day with the breakfast at the community building, and that benefits our Festival of Lights. The Festival of Lights decorate the park beautifully for Christmas, and it's really nice to see at Christmas time. We have a parade that I think is going to be amazing this year. The lineup starts at 10 o'clock at the old elementary school, or now it's called the Mount Auburn Recreational Center. Anybody can be in the parade, so if you want to join, you still have time. You just meet us down there, and Amanda will get you all lined up. You can make a float for our. Go ahead, Dixie.
And we have prizes for the float.
We have prizes for the float.
Monetary prizes.
So you'll just decorate your float for American Pride in 25. And then we have judges that will go around and pick first, second, and third. And like she said, you'll get a monetary prize. The parade begins at 11 o'clock, and it goes through most of the town and goes all the way up, and it will end at the park. So you'll be ready to go, and make sure you bring a bag, because you're going to get lots of candy from the parade.
The Grand Marshals this year are Brian and Jennifer Bramall, who have been members of the Picnic Association for years and years. And Brian is also very active on the volunteer fireman. He might be fire chief.
I think he is.
I think he is. And they have worked diligently and spent hours donating their time to the village in various venues.
Perfect Grand Marshals then for the parade starting at 11 a.m. But that's not all. We still got a lot more.
Yes. So we'll have balloon animals in the park after the parade, and then you can sing if you want. The Good Times karaoke will be there from 12 to 2. It's for all ages. So if you want to sing 1 or 5 songs, we'll love it. We love that. The ice cream social will begin that day, and then this is where it gets busy. So we have a soapbox derby. We'll have a volleyball tournament and a bags tournament, and all of those start at 1 p.m. The
Mount Auburn is unique with our soapbox derby. We're the only little town that has a hill, so we can have a soapbox derby.
That's right. That's right. And if you don't want to make your own soapbox, there are some that we have already available, and we have helmets. So the only thing the kids need to do is be between 8 and 18 and wear pants.
And wear pants.
And wear pants. Yes. We have some bands on the grandstand, and we're going to have the carnival again, and our beer tent's going to have rock school, which is kind of a rock band. They play 90s music, but they're going to keep us going all night long. So hopefully everybody can make it, and you can check it out, all the details, on our newly formed website at www.mountauburnfarmerspicnic.com.
Perfect way to exit, because we are out of time. Dixie Vincent and Shamron Cratcham, members of the Mount Auburn's Farmer Picnic, joining us here today. Thank you to the both of you.
Thank you.
You got it. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. More of our morning show tomorrow morning.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5 FM Shelbyville. 107.9 FM Pena Nokomis.